Here's a sentence I found when I was reading. Because she was so tractable, Susie was easy to teach. So as I read this sentence, there is a word right here, tractable, that I am not familiar with. So one way that I can use my root words to help me figure out what this word might mean is to break the word down and see if I recognize any of the parts. So if I look, I recognize able, and that one's pretty simple because it's pretty much the same thing as the word able, right? And then what's left, I have tract. So the first thing I have to do is I have to figure out what tract means. So one way that I do that is I try to think of some words that have tract in them. For example, I think of tractor and I think of traction, and I know both of these words have to do with pulling, right? Because that's what a tractor does. It pulls something through the field. And traction on your shoe is the when it pulls the floor and the shoe kind of pull together, the shoe pulls against the floor. Or I also think of tractor beam, like in Star Wars, right? When the tractor beam was pulling the ship towards it. So I think of tractor and traction. There's a lot of other words that have a tract in it. Let's see if this idea that I have that tract means to pull holds up. So if I attract something, if I attract trouble, or if I'm a magnet and I attract pieces of metal, I am pulling things toward me. If I retract, if I say something really stupid and I want to retract it, I pull it back again. I try to take it back into me. If I detract from somebody else, that means I pull attention away from them. I detract from their presentation by maybe acting out. Extract, like vanilla extract when I'm baking, that vanilla flavor has been extracted or taken out of or pulled out of the vanilla bean. So these words all make sense with my idea that tract means to pull. So if I put it together, I have tract means pull. So if I go back up to this sentence, I have pullable. Somehow, because she was so pullable, Susie was easy to teach. That kind of is making sense to me, but I have to think about the context here too. So here I have a student who was easy to teach because of something about her that has to do with pulling. And I can kind of understand, because if you're a teacher, you want to mold the student. You want them to do certain things. And if I could pull Susie this way, or pull her attention this way, or get her to be the way I wanted her to be, and pull her into shape, so to speak, then she would be easy to teach. So I have now got a pretty good understanding of what the word tractable means. Even if I don't have the dictionary definition, I kind of have a pretty good idea of what it means. And this sentence now makes a lot more sense to me. Because she was so tractable, Susie was easy to teach.